Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well today. If you're new here, I'm so glad you stopped by. And if you've been here before, you already know how much I appreciate you. So, today's video is going to be a little emotional, a little deep, and maybe even a bit personal for some of you. But that's what makes it so special. The title says it all. She stops looking when her heart has found you. And honestly, there's something powerful in those words. You know, in today's world, where everything feels fast texts, fast likes, fast relationships, we often forget what it feels like when something or someone truly touches the heart. We're always searching, scrolling through people, through moments, hoping something will finally feel real. But then, it happens. She finds you, not just with her eyes, but with her heart. And from that moment, everything changes. She's no longer looking, comparing, questioning, because her heart knows. It recognizes something in you, something safe, something true, not flashy, not perfect, but real. And when a woman's heart decides you're the one, it's not just affection, it's presence, it's comfort, it's a sense of peace, as if her soul is saying, "This is where I belong." That's what we're diving into today. Not just romance, but connection, real connection. And maybe, as you listen, you'll recognize someone in your life, or maybe you'll realize you've been that person for someone else. This video is not about fairy tales. It's about real emotions, subtle signs, and the beautiful moment when the search ends and love begins. I'll be walking you through 7 powerful points, truths that reveal what it really means when a woman stops searching. So, grab your headphones or just sit somewhere quiet for a few minutes. Let's take a break from the noise and dive into something a little softer, a little deeper. All right, friends. Enough from me. Let's go. Start. Number 1. She doesn't choose with her eyes. She chooses with her soul. People often think that a woman falls in love with what she sees, his looks, his charm, his style. But the truth is, while those things might spark curiosity, they don't hold her there. Because when it comes to her heart, she doesn't fall for the surface. She falls for what's underneath. The quiet strength, the softness in his silence, the way his presence makes her feel safe without needing to ask for it. She notices how he treats people when no one is watching. She feels the warmth in his voice when he talks about things that matter. And slowly, her heart starts to respond, not to his appearance, but to his energy, to his kindness, to the way he listens, to the way he sees her without needing to fix her. She doesn't need someone perfect. She needs someone true, someone whose spirit matches the frequency of hers. And that connection, that alignment, it has nothing to do with appearances. It's a soul thing. She might admire a smile, but she falls for how he makes her feel when the world gets quiet, when the lights are off, when she's vulnerable, tired, unfiltered. And he stays. He understands. That's why when she truly chooses someone, it's never just because he was handsome. It's because something in her soul said, "This is safe, this is real, this is home." And once that happens, no other face can distract her. No other voice can replace what her heart has already chosen. Because her choice wasn't made with her eyes. It was made with something far deeper, something eternal. Something that doesn't fade. Number 2, she no longer seeks attention. She rests in your presence. There was a time when she needed to be noticed. When her heart silently asked, "Do you see me?" And she measured love by how many texts came in, how many compliments she received, or how much space she was given in someone else's world. It wasn't because she was shallow. It was because she was tired of being invisible. She had spent too long trying to prove she mattered. But now, things are different. Because with you, She no longer has to ask. She no longer has to chase moments of validation or decode mixed signals. In your presence, she doesn't just feel seen, she feels understood, fully, quietly, comfortably. It's not about grand gestures anymore. It's about how you sit next to her without needing to fill the silence. It's the way your energy says, "You're safe here," without a single word. It's in the steady rhythm of your presence that her nervous heart learns to slow down. Her need for constant attention dissolves, not because she lost interest, but because she finally found peace. Now, she doesn't look for likes, reactions, or reassurances. She doesn't need loud affection to feel loved. Your calm consistency, your honesty, your nearness, that's what grounds her. That's what tells her, you're not alone anymore. And it's in this rare kind of connection that she can finally rest. Not just physically, but emotionally. She softens. She breathes deeper. She lets go of the armor she wore for too long, because real love doesn't scream, it whispers, and real presence doesn't demand, it invites. She doesn't crave attention anymore, because now she has something far better. She has presence. She has you. Number 3, she doesn't chase butterflies. She feels rooted. There was a time when she ran after feelings that fluttered, those brief highs, the excitement, the thrill of a new conversation, the spark that vanished as quickly as it came, like chasing butterflies in an open field, beautiful, unpredictable, but impossible to hold. She thought that was love, the butterflies, the rush, the games, but now she knows better. She no longer needs something that flutters. She needs something that stays. She no longer chases. She plants herself. Deep, quiet, grounded. Because with you, love isn't a chase, it's a place. A feeling that grows quietly like roots beneath the surface. Invisible to the eye, but unshakable when storms come. You didn't give her butterflies, you gave her a foundation. She doesn't feel anxious anymore, wondering what comes next. She doesn't second-guess your intentions. She isn't distracted by temporary excitement. Instead, she feels anchored, safe, still, and there's something extraordinary in that stillness. You gave her something the world didn't teach her to expect. Stability, not boring, not routine, but real, reliable, calm. You became her grounding force, the reason she no longer runs toward shallow sparks. Because now she understands, love isn't meant to feel like wings, it's meant to feel like home. The world told her that butterflies meant passion, but she learned, roots mean forever. And in your presence, she's no longer floating. She's blooming, right where she's planted, and she wouldn't trade that for 1,000 butterflies. Number 4, she stops performing when love no longer feels like a stage. For a long time, she felt like she was acting, not because she was fake, but because she thought she had to be more to be loved. More pretty, more perfect, more agreeable. She laughed at jokes that weren't funny. She wore confidence like makeup, even on the days she felt like collapsing. She became whoever the moment needed her to be, afraid that if she didn't perform, she'd be replaced. Love felt like a stage, and every stage needs a performance. Applause came in the form of attention, and silence, that felt like rejection. But then she met someone, you, who didn't ask her to act, who didn't need a version of her. You just needed her, the real, messy, unfiltered version, the one with flaws and fears and soft places no one ever saw. And slowly, the mask came off. Her voice softened, her guard dropped. She no longer rehearsed what to say. She didn't need a script. She could finally just be. You gave her something she didn't even know she needed, permission to exist as she is, not a highlight reel, not a polished performance, but a person, a woman, raw, vulnerable, and beautiful in her honesty. With you, love stopped being a spotlight and started being a shelter. She no longer had to earn love, she could receive it. And that's when the real magic happened. When love stopped feeling like a role to play, she stopped pretending. She stopped pleasing. She started breathing. Because in your presence, she doesn't need to impress. She needs only to be seen. And that is freedom. Number 5, she lets her walls fall, not because you forced them down, but because you waited. She's built those walls over time, brick by brick, memory by memory, not for drama, not for attention, but for survival. Every broken trust, every cold silence, every time she was misunderstood, added another layer. So, by the time you found her, she was already behind them, quiet, careful, guarded. And you could have rushed it. You could have tried to break through, to demand closeness, to fix her. But you didn't. You waited. You didn't ask, "Why are you like this?" You said, "I'm here when you're ready." And that simple presence, that patience, was louder than any grand gesture. You see, love isn't about tearing down walls. It's about being on the other side of them, long enough for her to believe it's safe to open the door. And one day, without a warning, she does. She lets you in. Not all at once, but slowly, carefully. She shows you pieces of herself she's never shared before, not because she has to, but because she wants to. Because you didn't try to break her open. You earned her trust by simply being there, consistent, gentle, real. And now, she doesn't just speak, she confides. She doesn't just smile, she lets you see her hurt. She doesn't just love, you feel her softness, her surrender, her truth. This is what patience can do. This is what love without pressure feels like. She let her walls fall, not for someone who knocked them down, but for someone who stood outside and stayed. Number 6, she doesn't search for signs anymore because she feels it in your silence. There was a time when she scanned every word, every glance, every message, desperately searching for signs. Signs that you cared, signs that you were still there, signs that this wasn't just a passing moment. She looked for meaning in every pause, every delay, every silence, wondering if it was good or bad, love or doubt. But that exhausting search has stopped, because now she doesn't need words to feel you. She doesn't need grand gestures or constant reassurances. She feels it in your silence, in the quiet moments when no one else is watching. She senses the depth of your presence, the way your calm breath sits beside hers, the way your eyes hold hers without needing to say a thing, the way your hand finds hers in the stillness of the night. Silence, once a space of uncertainty and fear, has become a sanctuary, a language all its own. It speaks volumes louder than any spoken promise. She feels your love in the way you don't rush to fill the gaps with noise, in the gentle patience you show when words fail, in the trust that grows not from what is said, but from what is simply there. This kind of connection transcends words. It's raw, authentic, and timeless. She no longer doubts because her soul recognizes the truth beneath the quiet. Love isn't always loud. Sometimes it's in the spaces between words, in the pauses that hold meaning, in the silence where hearts truly meet. And that is why she no longer searches for signs, because she already feels them, deep, clear, and steady, within your silence. Number 7. Her heart stops wandering when her soul feels seen. For so long, her heart was restless, drifting through moments, people, and places, searching for something she couldn't quite name. She chased fleeting feelings, hoping to find a connection that was more than skin deep. But no matter how far she traveled or how many faces she met, something always felt missing. Because what her heart truly longed for wasn't just to be noticed. It was to be seen, not just the surface, the smiles, or the good days, but the quiet corners of her soul, the fears she hides, the dreams she whispers in the dark, the raw, imperfect parts she keeps locked away. When no one looked beyond the facade, her heart stayed unsettled, restless, wandering. It was like a bird with no home, fluttering from branch to branch, never quite landing. But then she found someone who saw her, not with eyes clouded by judgment or expectation, but with a gaze so pure and accepting that it touched the deepest parts of her being. Someone who met her soul's silence with understanding and her vulnerability with kindness. And in that moment, everything changed. Her heart finally stopped its restless wandering, because to be truly seen is to be truly known, and when the soul is acknowledged in its entirety, the heart finds its peace. No more searching, no more running, just a stillness, a quiet joy, knowing she has found the place where she belongs. Love isn't about surface-level attraction or fleeting moments of excitement. It's about recognition, soul meeting soul, heart finding its home. And when that happens, her heart no longer wanders. It rests, it stays, it thrives. Conclusion. At the end of the day, love isn't about chasing butterflies or performing on a stage. It's about finding peace in presence, feeling rooted, and allowing your true self to be seen and accepted. When she stops searching for signs, it's because she feels the depth of your love, even in silence. When her walls come down, it's not because they were forced, but because you patiently waited. True love isn't loud or flashy. It's calm, steady, and real. If you felt even a little of this in your heart today, remember that the most beautiful connections are those where souls meet without pretense, where hearts stop wandering, and where love becomes a safe place to simply be. If you found this video meaningful, please hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and don't forget to subscribe for more heartfelt content. Your support means the world and helps this community grow. Thank you for being here. Let's keep discovering love that feels real, deep, and lasting. See you in the next video.